Yesterday I shared some information around belief systems, and be aware of what belief systems are being created in your mind. Today I want to expand on that and share how our belief systems start to shape future generations. So the belief systems of the past generations shaped our generation and our children and our parents. And the belief systems, the fears, the things that are happening now are creating belief systems and shaping the future. So why am I sharing this? Because every belief system you create or you believe right now, it may or may not be true. And it may have been inherited from the past. So the current belief systems that we have may have been inherited from generations ago. The previous generation had a number of wars. They had very different times than what we're experiencing right now. Other generations had harder times. There were lack of food. There were lack of sanitation. There was lack of a lot of things. So, and to a very strong degree, a lack of freedom, a lack of personal freedom. So in the past, there was a different type of oppression. And we inherited a lot of the belief systems that came through from previous times. And those belief systems are simply not relevant to us anymore. We live in a different time. So we don't need to buy in to the belief systems that are currently being lived if they originated at a time that's beyond us and that time has passed. So I'm not saying that certain things we shouldn't be doing. Of course, there's certain rituals, certain traditions, a lot of things. Some of them might be relevant. Some of them might be beautiful. Some of them might serve us. But some of them come from belief systems that are not relevant to the times of today. So it's time to start understanding and renewing our belief systems and looking at what do we believe? What do we believe is true that's not true? What do we believe is right that's actually not right? What do we believe that's wrong that's actually not wrong anymore? What do we believe about our current day and age, about ourselves, about the way we live our life that is simply not relevant or not true anymore? So I'm inviting you to start to reflect and think for yourself, what belief systems do you buy into that may not be relevant anymore, and begin to question those belief systems. I'm not saying which belief systems they are or not. That's for you to decide, but begin to question what's relevant for the times right now. Yeah, we live in very different times, and the speed of change is happening so quickly that we cannot keep up, especially if we're holding on to old belief systems. We need to remain current. We need to remain agile. We need to keep flowing and moving and adapting. That's how we as human beings, that's how certain beings, certain sapient species survived and other sapient species did not survive. Yeah, Homo erectus, which came first, was a species that didn't survive. They died. They became extinct. So us as human beings, we need to look at what is relevant right now at the time that's going to support us to not become extinct, that's going to support us to thrive, to be more connected, to live inside an empowered world. So start to look at the belief systems that you buy into. And now, why am I sharing about belief systems? I shared it yesterday, and today I'm specifically speaking about, let's look back at the belief systems that we've inherited and start to question those. And let's look at what belief systems we're creating now, because a lot of those belief systems are being passed on to future generations. So my question to you, my invitation for you is to have a look at what belief systems do you want your children, your children's children to inherit. If you're buying into and living, never mind what you think you're believing, what you're living is demonstrating the belief systems that you believe, not what you think you believe, what you convince yourself you believe, but how your life is demonstrated in being lived. If you're living a very limited and suppressed life, if you're living a life not living your greatest potential, then that's the belief system you're transmitting to future generations. Do not live your greatest potential, live a limited, suppressed life. Yeah, it's what you demonstrate, not what you think you believe. If you're living your life and being fully connected and fully self-expressed and doing the best you can and loving and open and free internally, that's a different experience. It's a different resonance that you're passing on to future generations. You're giving future generations permission to live the greatest potential that they have, not to live a life of limitation, lack, suppression, etc. So my invitation in this video is to consider what belief systems you've inherited that are not relevant anymore from previous generations, and what belief systems you want to pass on to your children and your children's children. Like, what vision do you see? What do you want to see in the future in terms of belief systems that we want this world to be in? And those with the greatest, most clear and most empowering and powerful vision, that's what will happen. And unfortunately, at the moment, the persons that are leaders of the planet are directing us to a vision that is not quite empowering. It's still quite suppressed. So it's up to us to begin to believe that there is a greater vision possible, and to hold on to that belief and to start living differently so that we can pass that on to our children, so that we don't live as victims within society and we're all empowered and leaders in society, each one with valuable, fair exchange between each other. There's space for every human being to be a leader. It's not for one person or two people or certain characteristics. Every human being can be a leader. And if you lead your own life, then you're a leader, and you begin to develop equality and fair exchange with other human beings who are also leaders. When you're not displaying your self-leadership, then what you're doing is you're projecting leadership onto someone else and subordinating followership into yourself, and you're following someone else's paradigms and what they're introducing. So I'm inviting you here to consider that you can begin to be a leader yourself and create a paradigm that we all can collaborate and live inside. And I believe this is how we're creating, and this is how nature is. So take that into your weekend. Consider what belief systems you're creating. And my invitation for this weekend, we've had enough of social media. We've had enough of noise out there. Do something meaningful. Connect with your family. Connect with friends. Connect with others. Read a book. Go inside yourself. If you haven't watched my video on your guidance systems, which is in the Know Yourself group, I strongly recommend. I recorded it today. We had a beautiful interaction. There were around 20 people there. Go to the Know Yourself group and spend some time and watch the video. It ended up being 2 videos. Watch the video on your guidance systems. And I share some incredible information that will support you to go inside and connect to your inner guidance system and begin to empower yourself. Begin to connect to what's true for you. It's an incredible recording. It's an incredible broadcast. And it's extremely valuable. This moves in the direction of you empowering yourself. So I highly recommend it. Spend some time this weekend, go into the group, listen, inform yourself to what's true, what's going to support you to be true, and spend the weekend relaxing, spend the weekend connecting with yourself, spend the weekend with that information, with your own innate intelligence, and then take it out to your family, take it out to connect with your environment, in your home, go for a walk. Those of you that are allowed, spend some time with the plants, spend some time being present with the people around you. So please go ahead and do that. Disconnect from the noise and the chaos and go back to it on Monday. But have a meaningful weekend by doing meaningful things, and have a look at what belief systems reflect for yourself. What belief system do you want to leave as a legacy for the next generation?